Well, here we are. Good morning and happy Sunday to everybody. Hope you're having a great weekend. Welcome to the Bee Bench where great things happen. Well, as I said yesterday in my video, we're going to start talking about some of the projects we got going on around here on our farm. And today I want to talk about bee frames and the new stapler I bought for putting those together. And I bought this Ryobi 1 Plus staple gun. Doesn't require any gas cartridges or air, which is nice. And I used it all day yesterday to put frames together, and I have to say I'm quite pleased with it. I've been using Ryobi products since the 90s, and as you can see, the older Ryobi products are this dark blue. I bought a whole set back in the 90s. It's got this flashlight, a saw, a sander, and I think, let's see, there was the flashlight, the sander, and the small circular saw, and then this light. I think that was all that was in that set, but I've been quite happy with this stapler. It's worked great for putting frames together. But I got all these wooden frames that I bought when I first started beekeeping, and they've just been sitting around in boxes for 2 or 3 years now, so I figured a good winter project would be to put these together. So a lot of the frames that I've put together, they're just your basic wooden frame, and these particular ones came with some hive bodies that I bought, and I hadn't needed them, but I've been using mostly frames that come with equipment that I buy, but when I have my choice, I usually buy the acorn frames. There's nothing wrong with the wooden frames, but normally I don't have time to put them together, so that's why I figured this would be a good time to do it, because once spring comes, things get crazy and don't have time for projects like this. And so, yeah, these don't have the holes in them, but I have some other frames that have the holes already pre-drilled in the sides, so you can run your wire across to wire your foundation. And then this black foundation that comes in a lot of hives that I've bought 2 different brands in the past, and they both come with this black foundation, and it seems like it's probably the same company that manufactures it. And the problem with these is they warp in the sun, so if you leave them out in the sun for any length of time, especially when they're new and the bees haven't propolized the sides to the frames, they'll warp real easy. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to make some X's on the foundation with wire that goes across on both sides to keep them from doing that. I've done it with a few frames, and it works well to keep the foundation where it belongs. So I've got a mixture of plastic foundation, and then I've got this nice heavy wax foundation for my deeps, which I really like. I don't mind using wax foundation for deeps, and I don't mind using it if it's this thicker foundation without the wires in it. I've got this other foundation. This is thinner, and it's got the wires in it, which I don't really like. But since I've already got it, and for some reason I ordered these shorts, which will just end up going in a medium for honey supers. But the thing that's bad about using a wax foundation, from what I've read and heard, is when you start spinning your honey out, the foundation just disintegrates. So it's probably a one and done for the wax foundation on these. But since I already bought it, I'll go ahead and use it. And then over here I got all my pieces that I laid out for putting frames together. And as you can see, these are the ones that don't have the holes in them. So I got a lot of frames put together yesterday. I'm going to say I probably put close to 100 of them together. I haven't used I didn't make myself a frame jig. A lot of people say it's quicker and easier to use a frame jig, but one of the reasons why I'm working here in the basement is because I never got the heater going in our shop out in the garage. So this is one project I can get done without having to work in the garage, and I'll start building more woodenware in March when things start warming up outside. But here's the new staple gun I bought, and it's called the Ryobi Airstrike, and it just uses rechargeable batteries like all the rest of the equipment that I've got, so I can interchange all these batteries with everything I've got. I had a drill that came in this set that was blue, and I literally broke it in half. I was using it for something that I probably shouldn't have been. I was augering holes in the ground to plant garlic, and I hit some hard ground and some rocks, and it literally snapped it in half. So now my new drill is this bright yellow like this. And so this is pretty straightforward. Up here, this dials in how far or how powerful your staple goes into the wood. And then over here, let's see, down here underneath the trigger, you've got that switch there, and that regulates whether it does a single staple or multiple staples with a trigger pull. And for what I'm doing with these frames, I'm just doing a single staple. And then this little knob here controls how far down this goes. And at first I didn't have it set correctly, and this wasn't going all the way down flush with this, so my staples weren't going all the way down in there. And then I finally realized that that adjustment was there and what it was for. But as you can see here, this will go flush, so that it'll allow your staple to go all the way in whatever you're working on. And then of course, like any other staple gun, you just pull this back here and it opens up your magazine to put your staples in. So pretty much the same as a pneumatic stapler, other than you don't have to have a noisy air compressor, and you don't have to have air, and so that makes it nice. You don't have to have that air hose and noisy compressor, and since I'm working in the basement, that wouldn't be really good. So I'm pretty happy with this unit. It's worked well for me so far, and I've had pretty good luck with all the Ryobi products. I know a lot of people are partial to DeWalt and other brands, but for home use I use Ryobi, and I've been quite pleased with them. So, but yeah, I'll finish up putting these frames together and getting the foundation in and getting them wired up. And then these are some shorts here for the mediums, and so hopefully I can get this little project wrapped up